everyone, welcome back. So in this lecture we'll talk about the vibration of underdamped system. So this was our system. We considered this system and we developed the governing equation. So to see how we developed this equation and how we got the solution, you can watch the last lectures. So this is the solution in form of zeta. Here zeta is damping ratio and zeta is defined as zeta equals to C over Cc. C is the damping constant and Cc is critical damping constant. Cc is given as 2 under root Km or 2m omega n. So we can represent the solution in form of zeta. So here this system or behavior of this system will depend on the value of zeta. So first case we'll discuss about the underdamped system. So for underdamped system, zeta equals to less than 1. Or we also can say C is less than Cc, or we can write C over 2m is less than under root Km. So if this is the case, then we can say here this value zeta square minus 1 becomes negative. So if zeta is less than 1, then zeta square minus 1 will be negative. And if this value is negative, then this solution can be represented in the form of, so these are two roots and these two roots can be represented in the form of minus zeta plus iota 1 minus zeta square omega n, and this is S1 and S2 can be represented in the form of minus zeta minus iota 1 minus zeta square omega n. So we can say if zeta is less than 1, then roots of the auxiliary equation will be complex. So by identifying or by visualizing these roots, we can say if the roots is in complex form, then we can say system is underdamped system. So the solution can be represent this xt. We can write if zeta is less than 1 as xt can be written as a1 e raised to power minus zeta plus iota square root of 1 minus zeta square omega nt plus a2 e raised to power minus zeta minus iota square root of 1 minus zeta square and multiplied by omega nt. And here in this we can write as, so e raised to power minus zeta omega nt we can take as a common, so this becomes e raised to power minus zeta omega nt, and this becomes a1 e raised to power iota 1 minus zeta square omega nt plus a2, and here this becomes e minus iota 1 minus zeta square omega nt, right? So now we can use the trigonometric relationship of e iota theta plus minus can be written as cos theta plus minus iota sin theta. So if we use this trigonometric relationship in this equation, then this can be written as xt equals to e raised to power minus zeta omega nt. A1 at this place will write cos 1 minus zeta square omega nt plus iota sine 1 minus zeta square omega nt, right? Plus a2 at the place of this will write cos 1 minus zeta square omega nt minus iota sine 1 minus zeta square omega nt, right? So if we simplify this term now, then this would be xt, this term e raised to power minus zeta omega nt, and from here we'll have a1 multiplied by cos 1 minus zeta square omega nt, and from here we'll have A2 multiplied by cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t. So we can take cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t as a common. So this becomes A1 plus A2 cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t, right? And from here this A1 will get multiplied by this term, and from here A2 will get multiplied by this term. So we can take a common as plus iota A1 minus A2, and this will be multiplied by sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t, right? So here A1 and A2 both are constant. So this A1 plus A2 can be introduced as new constant as, let's say, A1 prime. So here A1 plus A2, these are constant. So this can be written as A1 prime as a new constant. And this term also, this is constant, iota A1 minus A2 can be written as A2 prime as a new constant. So this equation can be written as e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, and this is A1 cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t plus A2 sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t, right? And this A1 and A2 can be assumed in the new form, right? So here this A1, this is the one form of the solution, right? This is the first form of the solution, and here A1 and A2 are to be determined using initial conditions, right? So initial conditions are x at t is equal to 0 time x naught, and x dot at t is equal to 0 time, this is x naught dot. So these are initial conditions. So here A1 and A2 can be find out using initial conditions. So this is the one form of the solution, right? And we can get the another form of this solution using A1 and A2 in the form of trigonometric function. So A1 we can find out here, A1 can be represented as A cos phi, and A2 can be represented at A sin phi, right? So if we replace these value in this equation, then this becomes xt e raised to power minus zeta omega and t. At the place of A1 will write A, and this is cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t and cos phi, right? And this is A2, this is A, and this is sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t, and at the place of A2 we write A sin phi. So this is A, this is sin phi, right? So in this form, this can be written as A can be taken out, and this becomes A e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, and here this is cos theta cos phi plus sin theta sin form. So this can be written as cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t minus phi. So this is second form of this solution. Here A can be find out using these two. So A can be represented as A1 square plus A2 square root of this, and phi can be find out using tan inverse A2 over A1. So this is tan phi and this is A. So this is the second form of this solution, right? This is the second form. Now we can develop the third form of the solution. This is second form. And third form can be developed as, if we in this solution, if we represent A1 and A2 in this form, A1 can be represented as A naught sin psi, and A2 can be represented as A naught cos psi. So if we replace these value in this form, then this becomes, this is xt e raised to power minus zeta omega and t. At the place of A1 we'll write A naught sin psi, and this was cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t, and this is plus, at the place of A2 we write A naught cos psi, and this is sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t. So here A naught can be taken as out, minus A naught e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, and this becomes sine, or this form can be written as sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t plus psi. So this is the third form of the solution, right? So this is third form. So here A naught and psi can be find out using these two. So here A can be find out as A1 square and A2 square, square root of this, and tan phi can be find out as, this is A1 over A2, or phi equals to tan inverse A1 over A2. So if we know the value of A1 and A2, then we can find out A naught and psi also, right? So this is the third form. So in this solution we have three forms, and now we'll find out the value of A1 and A2, right? So to find out the value of A1 and A2, we have to use the initial conditions. So these are the initial conditions here. So from here, this is R displacement. So from displacement we can get the velocity. So this is the displacement equation. Now we'll find out, or you can say determination of A1 and A2, right? So this is our equation, e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, A1 cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t plus A2 sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t. So from here, if we differentiate this equation, we'll get the velocity x dot t as, this is, first we'll differentiate this equation. So this can be written as minus zeta omega n e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, and this is A1 cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t plus A2 sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t, plus now we'll differentiate this equation, then this becomes e raised to power minus zeta omega and t, and at this place this becomes minus 1 minus zeta square omega n A1 sine 1 minus zeta square omega and t, plus differentiation of this equation becomes A2 1 minus zeta square omega n cos 1 minus zeta square omega and t. So this is the velocity. Now we use the initial condition over these two equations. This is the displacement equation and this is the velocity equation, and our initial conditions are x at t is equal to 0 time, this is x naught, and x dot at t is equal to 0 time, this is x naught dot. So we put the t equals to 0 in this equation, and at x t will put x naught. So this becomes, in this equation at this place we'll write x naught. So first we'll apply the displacement initial condition. So this is x naught, and in this equation we'll put t equals to 0, right? So this becomes 1, and this becomes a1. This term also becomes, if we put t equals to 0, then this term becomes 1 and this term becomes 0. So here we'll get only a1. So a1 equals to x naught, right? Now we'll apply the velocity initial condition or the velocity equation, right? So x naught dot t equals to 0, we'll put the t equals to 0 in this equation. So at this place, this is x naught dot, and if we put t equals to 0 here, then this equation becomes 1, and this equation, this term also becomes 1. If t equals to 0, then this whole becomes 1, this whole becomes 0, and again this term becomes 1, and this whole term becomes 0, and this term becomes 1. So we'll have, from here we'll have minus zeta omega n, and from this term we'll have a1, and again this term is 0, this term is also 0, and from here we'll have, this is 1, and this term is also 1. So we'll have 1 minus zeta square omega n and multiplied by a2. So this is our x naught dot, right? So in this a1 is already known to us, then we can replace by this value. So this can be written as x naught dot equals to minus zeta omega n. At the place of a1 we can write x naught, and plus 1 minus zeta square omega n multiplied by a2. So this is 1 minus zeta square omega n multiplied by a2. So from here we can find out the value of a2. So from here we can write a2 equals to x naught dot plus zeta omega n x naught divided by 1 minus zeta square omega n. So this is the value of a2, and this is the value of a1. Now we can write the complete solution. At the place of a1 and a2, we'll write these values. So the complete solution becomes xt equals to e raised to power minus zeta omega n t. At the place of a1, we'll write x naught, and this is cos 1 minus zeta square omega n t. At the place of a2, we'll write this value. So this is x naught dot plus zeta omega n x naught over 1 minus zeta square omega n sine 1 minus zeta square omega n t. So this is our complete solution. So this is the final solution for free vibration of underdamped system, and in next lecture we'll discuss about the another two forms. So we'll find out the a and phi, and from here a naught and psi value. So in the next lecture we'll discuss about these two another forms of solution to find out these constants. So thank you.